And our next run is so. Here is Sharif doing Axe Battler, a Legend of Golden Axe 100%. Good luck and take it away.
All right, everybody. Okay. Hey everyone. My name is Sharif. You might know me as Sharfers in chat. If you don't, hi. I'm here to play a Game Gear game. I'm here to play a Game Gear game called Axe Battler, a Legend of Golden Axe. It is a game in the Golden Axe universe, starring Axe Battler, who is the barbarian. He does not use an axe. He uses a sword. Yeah, we're just gonna get started here. I can sort of blurb about the game a little bit when we get started. The big warning is there are quite a few flashing lights in this game. So just word of warning there. There are flashing lights for every random encounter we get, which we have quite a few in the game. Those are not too bad, but whenever I use magic, that's like considerably worse, and I will warn when that happens. But if everyone's ready, time starts when I hit new game here. So we'll just get started here in 3, 2, 1, go. Crash Stump, it's the enemy. Thank you. So this is an opening cutscene. I'm mashing through the opening cutscene. So the Game Gear has 2 buttons. I'll explain what's happening in this while I'm mashing through it. The Game Gear has 2 buttons, the 1 button and the 2 button. Each button does both text advance, so it speeds up the text, and it also dismisses the current text box to get the next text box. So I literally like claw grip. I'm using a Genesis controller, but I literally claw grip the controller and then just hold one finger down and then mash the other finger, and that's how we get through every single text box. Every time we get a random encounter like that one, we get 2 text boxes. In Japanese, it's 1 text box, but I'm doing it in English because it runs slightly easier in English. On the American version, English has nothing to do with it. So you can see that we have like a Dragon Warrior, Dragon Quest style overworld, or maybe even a little Zelda 2-ish. So it's a lot of Zelda 2. This game really wants to be Zelda 2. So we have our first dungeon here. This dungeon's going to give us our first key item. Oh boy, that was very unlucky. 100% of this game involves getting all power-ups and all key items. In any percent, we skip 2 key items and a power-up. And a whole inn, actually. So yeah, so all of the items come from... Wow, I've gotten hit twice already. That's not amazing. So, that was our first power-up. It's a bomb. And we're gonna get our power-ups in towns. So we're headed to our first town right now. This is not a Barbie game. So these encounters are totally random. Basically, the RNG seed is set at game start, and we have no idea how to manipulate that, so it's random every single time. This is not very good RNG, but that's okay. Bridges are always encounters. They're guaranteed encounters, and this was actually really good RNG to get this enemy. So anytime we get a random encounter, it's one of a bucket of enemies that we could possibly get. So this is the first area in the game. So the 3 enemies we can get are the Barbarian, the Amazon, and the Skeleton. And it increases in difficulty in that order. You've seen the Barbarian and the Amazon. There's the Skeleton. Say hi, Skeleton. We used our bomb to blow up that gigantic mountain the size of ourselves, and now we're in our first town. So TR is for training, so now we're in a training dojo with our master. This guy is definitely a tough love kind of master. He always asks us if we want to train, and if we don't want to train, he calls us either a wimp or a chicken, depending on how he's feeling. And then if we lose that battle, he calls us a chump. So the way this works is every time you go to the training dojo, you fight a higher level enemy than your character should beat. And if you beat that enemy, then you get the power. So now I have high jump. High jump, if I press up and jump, I jump very high. High jump. I'm going to take that hit as well. This guy, the skeletons, when you're this low level, trying to kill the skeleton is a giant waste of time. I'm actually going to take this hit as well, no matter what. That way we can just death. We can just death abuse here. So we're getting our second ability here. This ability is called Upper Swing, which doubles our attack output. Right now, one swing does a half health bar of damage, and Upper Swing is when you crouch. When you crouch and attack, it does a full bar of damage, which you will see very soon. That's what high jump does. He jumps high. Yes. So death. So death is not very punishing in this game, except for late in the game. All death does is it sends you back to the last inn you were at. And it takes away all of your magic vases. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention, but I'm just gonna see if I can die here. Or maybe not. Maybe I'll just heal. I guess I'll heal. Okay. So, magic vases, every time you kill an enemy, it says you get a certain number of magic vases. Barbarian gives you 1. Amazon gives you 2, Skeleton gives you 3. Magic vases are everything, so they're currency. I just paid 4 magic vases to get a full heal at the end, but it's also mana for your magic. Magic is, speedrun doesn't use magic because, so that was Upper Swing. Speedrun doesn't use magic very often because the animation is extraordinarily slow. This is just horrific RNG, I have to say. But yeah, so what was I saying? I lost it. Yeah, so magic isn't used because the animation is very slow. So we only use it when we're either really cornered or in very specific. I use it in 2 specific cases. So there are 2 sort of routed in runs. Also, I apologize for this noise, the banshee noise. It's not very good. But what are you gonna do? You can theoretically get through this untouched, but we want to death warp back. So the fact that there's a very low penalty for death means that death warping is part of the run. So instead of walking all the way back to the inn, since that's all the way back to town, which is where we want to be anyway, I'm gonna take a hit right here. Since we want to go there anyway, in this particular case, that's where we want to go. I'm just gonna take this hit. Oh, now we're actually in something of... We're in a spot of trouble here. Oh boy, I'm dead. Alright, well, we'll just do that again. I don't know that I don't remember the last time I died there. It kind of just panicked a little bit. That was a little bit of panicking. So we'll just go back. It's not a big deal. So yes, this is what happens when you die. You go to the password house in town. And we'll just go back. And we'll just try again. It's totally fine. I got a little aggressive with taking hits there. Not a big deal. I won't PB in this run, though. I was never going to PB because my RNG wasn't good enough, but still. That was definitely a skill problem. Yeah, if there's anything you want to plug now would be the time, since we're just doing the same exact thing we were just doing.
Alright, in addition to the incentives that I mentioned, I want to also mention a bid word that we have coming up for the last run today. We have a... If this thing would scroll right. We have a... Yeah, there is a bid war on zombie attire for the Plants vs. Zombies run at the end of today. Mustaches is currently winning that by slightly under $20, so remember that you can donate toward that and also count those dollars towards an incentive, so all the more reason to donate to Girls Make Games.
Excellent. So this is how I was supposed to do this. If I didn't want to take a hit, that's how you do that. And I'm going to take one more intentional hit right here to get through this guy. Just jump over him like that. And now we have the crystal. So the crystal is going to let us progress to the next area in the game. Since I have a lot of health, we're just going to walk back. And we're just not going to take extra health. So there's upper swing, did a full health. And that's how you do that quickly. So this is the last time we're going to see these two enemies. The Amazon and the Barbarian is the last time we're actually going to see these two enemies. Because we're going to the next area in the game. So we're going to use this crystal. We're going to throw it into the sea. And then, of course, when you throw crystals into a sea, a giant, huge turtle just spawns. And so now we're going to ride the turtle. We're a little low on health, but it's not a big deal. Oh, go up, go up, go up. Oh, boy. All right. Oh, wow, we're very low on health. I might actually just heal in the next area. Well, this run hasn't gone the way I was hoping, but that's okay. All right, so we finished. We have ridden the turtle. We're gonna get our third ability. This is jump swing. It's not very useful. If you jump and you swing, then you do double damage. So it's useful in very specific circumstances. Yes. Also, this is the Game Gear game. I have it modded, so I can play it on a Genesis controller. So now we can actually defeat skeletons, which is cool. So now we have jump swing. I'm also gonna heal. I think we have enough to heal, so I'll be fine. I might as well just play it a little bit safe. I already died once, so I don't know where the inn is in this town. I use it so infrequently. Here you are. Hello. So now we're in the second area of the game. I don't have enough. Okay. How much do I have? I have 4. Okay. Well, we'll just take one enemy. This is the highest spawning area in the game, so odds are I'll just find an enemy immediately. There you go. Mr. Skelly. Now go back and heal. Because the skeleton gave us three vases, so we should have enough. Have a nice day. So now we're actually gonna make our way through this. It's called. It has like a really ominous name. It's like the Desert of the Dead or something. But it has the until the very end of the game. It has like the highest spawn rate of enemies in the whole game. So in one of my personal bests from a long time ago now, I actually got random encounters on 7 consecutive steps. So that's 2 now. The Neo Amazon has very interesting hitboxes. So yeah, so now we're on the second area of the game. So now we have a new batch of enemies. So now we have the Neo Barbarian, the Neo Amazon. We still have the skeleton. Then we have the Bad Bra. You saw the Bad Bra earlier. Brad Bra is short for Bad Brother. I don't know why. But yeah, shout out to the Bad Bra. But yeah, so this is just a lot of random encounters over and over and over again. But we're trying to get to that pyramid, and the pyramid is going to give us our next critical item, which is the key. Oh boy. Another skeleton. Okay. Skelly boys are out to play today. So we're almost there. We go. We got there. So this is the pyramid. So this is a very interesting area. So if you go straight there, you go through this really terrible dungeon. That scorpion doesn't exist anywhere other than in that dungeon. There's a ton of like unique enemies. It's a very difficult dungeon. But if you just go up, you skip the whole dungeon and you get the key. And the key is just to get through the dungeon. So the key is done. We got the key and we used the key and now it's done. And we also just skipped the whole dungeon. So that's as intended. If you go through the dungeon, it tells you, hey, you don't have the key to get out of here. So now we're going to get the most important upgrade in the game, which is High Swing. Or I guess it's called Super Swing. Super Swing is the same thing as Upper Swing, but you don't have to crouch. So now you press up, and if you press up and So here's our bad bra. What's up, bud? 1, 2, 3. So now we have super swing. Super swing is the same as as upper swing, except you press up instead of down, and it has an increased hit range, which is the big thing. So now you have longer range than every enemy in the game now, basically, including like the worst enemies at the very end of the game. So that's good. I have a lot of vases, so we're gonna switch to thunder magic because we're gonna use magic soon. So this is the hardest dungeon in the game. We call it the Spooter Cave because there's lots of spooters. So if you don't like spooters, I apologize. That was not what I was supposed to do there, for the record. That was a mistake. Alright. So those spiders are all over this cave, and they spit out these pink fireballs or whatever, and my job is to just not get hit by them and get comboed by them forever. That one did come, like, flying off from the off-screen. That would have, if I had gotten hit, that would have done damage. We're not in very good shape health-wise here, but we'll do our best. Very slow-moving arrow is fine. We killed the arrow. More spiders. Yeah, so the reason that I hate this cave is coming up very soon here. It's this part of the game, and I'm going to be using magic soon, so flashing light warning, it is extremely unpleasant to look at. So there you go. Alright, so that was the last time I should have to do that. So that was the worst one in the game. So we're done with that, hopefully forever. We got through that pretty painlessly. I died in that part of the game in my GDQ run, for example. It's just a very difficult area in the game. So now we're gonna get the next required upgrade. So the only two upgrades that you absolutely need to beat the game are high jump and then this ability, which is tackle. Say hi to Master Chief. So the knights are great. Master Chief walks up to you, he whiffs, and then you kill him. So now we have tackle. Tackle, if you double tap on the D-pad, you start running in that direction, and then that also gives you like a shoulder check, which is required to clear an area in a dungeon later on in the game. I'm also going to talk to this guy. He's going to give me a compass. That compass is going to be very important very soon. I am now going to heal. I should have plenty of vases for healing. I think this is going to cost me 8 vases. I should definitely have 8 vases. So now that we have tackle, we can go to the Forest of the Lost, I believe is what it's called. I'm not great with the lore in this game. I'm not like a huge like Golden Axe person. I've played some Golden Axe, but not like a ton. So there's a lot of references to Golden Axe stuff that I actually just don't understand. This might be a knight again. Oh, it's a Neobar. So Neo-Barbarians are going to be the easiest enemy in the game. So that's what we always want. Every time we get a random encounter, we're hoping for a Neo-Barbarian. All right, so this is the next most difficult dungeon after the spider one. So there's your shoulder check that you need. So you need it to kill that enemy basically without taking damage. Get some bats here, bat. There should be a third bat, and then this little pikeman. These pikeman guys are rough. They'll do a full bar of damage to you, so you want to avoid them if at all possible. For some reason I jumped instead of swinging there. There. And then there should be another pikeman man coming here. There he is. Kill him. Pikeman. Oh man, that was really good. It's unfortunate that I died in the very first dungeon, because everything else has gone really well. So we did all of this work. We're gonna death warp back, so I'm gonna take damage. So we did this all to go on this really conspicuous square to get a piece of fruit. So yeah, so that we got the compass. We got the compass to get through the forest. If you don't get the compass from that soldier, then when you finish that dungeon, it just sends you right back to where you came from, saying, "Oh, you got lost." So without the compass, so I'm just death warping back to the last city, the last village that we were in. That was actually really good luck. We actually really wanted high spawn rates there because I didn't want to spend time dying, and I didn't take a lot of damage, which is unusual. Let's be clear. So now we're gonna take this top area, and that's going to send us to the next area in the game, which is also the last area in the game. So yeah, we're already well past halfway through this game. Hello, Mr. Knight. So we have another dungeon coming up. I call them side-scrolling sections because they're really not dungeons. Because some of them are outdoors. Like this one's going to be outdoors. So now we're just trying to... If we can keep health for the rest of the game, ideally we don't want to have to refill health at all for the rest of the game. If we want to go, you know, quote-unquote fast. And also the spawn rates get very high on these desert tiles and on the mountainous tiles. Those are the ones with the highest spawn rates. We just keep killing these bad bras. We're badder than the bad bras. Okay. So here's this area. So this area looks really scary, but the boulders that are about to fall in a completely predictable pattern. So this is the spot where you need tackle or you can't complete the level. So if you don't have tackle by now, you literally would just die there. That's why tackle is needed for that one area. Yeah, so these boulders fall in an entirely predictable pattern. So I'm just gonna wait for this guy to fall right here. And then we'll just get to this area. And the reason we needed to that piece of fruit that we got at the end of the forest is for right here. So that eagle, without the fruit, that eagle doesn't show up. And again, you just leave the area and end up where you came from. Instead, we get an eagle that sends us to a larger eagle. So now we're riding on the back of this large wooden question mark eagle. And now we're just playing pacifist here. We don't want to kill any of these skellies because that's slow. There we go. And now we're going to be in the last area in the game. The last area in the game, the last, like set of areas in the game. So this is this is here. So now we have a whole new set of enemies. So we still have the Neo-Barbarian, but now we have a Neo-Barbarian, a Neo-Skeleton, a Neo-Knight, and then Death Adder Jr. Death Adder, anybody who knows Golden Axe knows Death Adder is like the big bad. But they have these sort of his offspring sort of just wandering around the areas here. And is the hardest random enemy in the game. And right now they one-shot me. We're going to pick up an item so that they don't one-shot me anymore. But we're actually going to see the Death Adder right here. This is to get the last item in the last required item in the game. Or the last ability in the game. It's required because it's 100%. We actually skip this at any percent. We get something called Jump Attack, I think is what it's called. But it's basically a down stab. I messed this up completely. Okay, we're fine. We're fine. Everything's fine. So what I'm doing is a pretty risky strat there. There's a safer strat where you just tackle him 8 times, but it's much slower. So now we have gotten Jump Attack. Jump Attack is you jump and you press down and you basically get Link's down stab from Zelda 2. Or I guess also the down stab from Golden Axe, but calling it Link's down stab is way funnier, so that's what I do. So we're going to go up here instead of going down. And you can see that very conspicuous square on your left. And since I have a lot of health, we're just not going to do death warps or anything. We're just going to play this totally straight. So we're not going to take any damage or anything that we don't want to. Any damage I take is unintentional here, is what I'm trying to say. We've gotten really good spawn luck so far. Because a Death Adder can spawn before you get to that village. And if you get one shot by the Death Adder, then you just go back to the last inn and you have to do that entire eagle section again, which is a huge pain in the butt. So yeah, also that Death Adder could have one-shot me if he had hit me. Alright, so now I have the Magic Stone. That was the last required item. So now I have everything in the game. So we've 100% of the game. Now we just gotta beat the game. I hate Neo Knights. They're very slow to defeat. But here we go. I'm not gonna start taking damage against enemies until after the snow area. I think it's called the Ice Cliffs. So it's the next dungeon. The next dungeon is the Ice Cliffs. It has the best music in the game. It also has the other use of magic in the game. We're not there yet. We have to go through this area first. Now we're gonna go down. So now we're on our way. We're on like the last run of the game, basically. We have to go through 2 dungeons in a row. So if we die at the very end of the game, then we go back to that inn, and we have to do all of this entire walk back. Think of it like a really annoying Dark Souls 2 run back to a boss or something. Do it that way. I hate Neo Knights. They're awful. The only way to beat them is to tackle them. Like, I've figured out a way to defeat every enemy without using tackle except for the Neo Knights, and I just still haven't figured out a way to beat the Neo Knights without using the tackle. Alright. Over and down. More Neo-Barbarians. I have a lot of magic vases here. Generally, when I do a no reset run of Axe Battler, my goal is sub 30. I did die once, but you can have one death and still get a sub 30. And I died in sort of a not. We didn't lose that much time. Oh boy. Enemies 2, 3. So I'm making this strat look way easier than it is. It actually takes quite a bit of practice to get the timing right. If you time that wrong, the Death Adder will get a hit off, and his reach is very, very wide. So this is the Ice Cliffs. Best music in the game, so enjoy it. This is very interesting. So there's a strat here, but I'm not gonna do it. So this avalanche basically makes it so that these platforms don't have any hit detection for a while, but you can run through it if you're very confident. Flashing light warning coming up very soon here. So right here, there's one. And there's going to be a second one coming up not too far from here. Right now. So yeah, other thing here is if you fall in any of these pits, that's instant death. And you need to do the entire run up back to here again. So you start at that inn up at the top of the stage where I got the jump attack. And you have to do it again. So now you just have to run here. There's a whole avalanche here, and then you just jump. All right, there you go. If you don't jump there, you fall underneath, and you have to do half the stage over again, basically. So now we're on the final run up. I'm gonna start taking hits. So we're headed to the final dungeon. Okay, maybe I won't take that many hits, depending on who. Okay, I'll take a hit from a Neo Knight. If it's a Neo Skeleton again, I'll just kill the Neo Skeleton. We'll kill the Death Adder, no biggie. Come on, baby. Come on. Yeah. There we go. There we go. So yeah, there's the final dungeon. It's Death Adder's castle. It is a disaster. But we actually found a skip. And you end up skipping 90% of the stage or 80% of the stage. So it actually has made this run like far more approachable. This used to be a really difficult area in the game, but we basically got rid of all of the difficulty. So now, this is actually a much more relaxed area. Had I been using old strats and I only had this much health coming into it, I would have been very nervous. But now, we're pretty chill. So yeah, so we're almost at the final boss here. The time is coming up pretty soon, just like as a heads up. Alright, so here's where the skip happens. So we go here, and then we ride this guy, and then we just go through the wall. And we just skipped 80% of the entire stage, right? Just now. It was that simple. Alright. So now we're at the end of this dungeon, so we're gonna get to the final boss here. And time! That was the end of the game. There's no final boss. That's it. There's no final boss at all. So yeah, it's just another cutscene, just like the beginning of the game. It goes, ha 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 ha! So now this is our final confrontation with the Death Adder, and... Who are you, fiend? And there's lots of very interesting translation choices, but it's great. But yeah, that was Axe Battler, A Legend of Golden Axe. I went alright. I feel like I did a good job showing the game off. Super fun game. I really like this game. This is a game I had as a kid. I was a Game Gear kid. And I got to, when I was a kid, I got to the area with the forest, and then that's when I dropped it. And then when I started speedrunning many years ago, I was thinking about games that I had never beaten as a kid that I really liked. This came up, and so I learned the speedrun. I'd like to shout out Jay Question Mark, the fellow speedrunner of this game. He taught me a lot of the strats. I taught him a lot of strats. We've been working together to make this run what it is now. Odin Noah is the person who found the last the skip in the final castle to make this run way easier. And it takes about 5 minutes or so off the run on average, maybe a little bit less than that. But it's a large castle. It's a mirror door, invisible mirror door maze with the spikes coming out of the ground. So the less we do of that, the better. And yeah, peace was once again restored to the world. So yeah, that was it from me. Thanks for having me on Complete-a-thon. I really appreciate it, and have a great rest of the marathon, y'all.
And that was Axe Battler, a Legend of Golden Axe 100% run by Sharif. Wonderful run. Thanks so much for doing that for us. Coming up next is going to be Epinuano with the King's Dungeon World 1 and 2 100%. Now let's take a look back at an incentive at the end of the run after that. The run after is going to be a Punk Special Agent run by Osmorn, and if we can get, let me check the status of that one again. If we can get $100 towards doing the Flavor Nexus DLC at the end of that run, that is what will happen. And we have $35.45 towards it, so we need a little bit over $64 to do that. And while that is at the end of the second run from now, well, the next run's fairly quick, so that is not as much time as it might sound like. So that's why, for any incentives you want to see or bid wars you want to influence, it's always a good time to get your donation in. And while we're getting set up for the next run, a quick word about the cause that we're supporting and the place that your donations are going. That place is Girls Make Games. While women make up nearly half the gaming population, less than 24% of game developers in the US are women. Girls Make Games was created to address this gender gap and create a space for girls to explore the world of video games. To date, nearly 25,000 girls in 160 cities and 22 countries have accessed game dev workshops, summer camps, and tutorials. Girls Make Games' published titles have been downloaded over 190,000 times on partner platforms like PlayStation, Nintendo Switch, Xbox Creators Program, Steam, and Google Play. By inspiring girls to engage with Steam through the fun and creativity of game design, we're creating a world where girls have the chance to discover their potential through gaming and game dev. And remember that as you donate, you can count the same donation not just towards a target, but also a bid war. So in addition to making the Flavor Nexus DLC or the chipmunk voices in My Friendly Neighborhood, the run after Jazzpunk happened, you can also weigh in on what the zombies are going to be wearing in Plants vs. Zombies at the end of today. But you can see all of that along the donation flow as you make your donation at the link that !donate will give you in chat. As for the status of those other incentives and bid wars I mentioned, the Chipmunk Voices for My Friendly Neighborhood, that has $10 out of the $125 it needs, so $115 more will make that happen. And for the zombie attire, Mustaches is ahead of Future Glasses by slightly under $20. And for a little bit more about our event itself, Complete-a-thon is a charity event dedicated to completionist speedruns. This includes 100% all collectibles, or even categories where you collect all of a specific collectible, such as all red berries or all shrines, just to name a few. If you're interested in getting involved or finding out more, make sure to join our Discord and follow us on Twitter to get updates about future events. You are watching Complete-a-thon supporting Girls Make Games. In 2014, Girls Make Games was founded in order to provide girls with the space and resources to explore the world of gaming and help them pursue careers in game development. Girls Make Games has helped their alumni go on to graduate high school, college, and onto jobs in the gaming industry and wider STEAM fields. With help through your donations, the Girls Make Games Scholarship Fund will give women and girls the support they need to reach their fullest potential. Several members of the Complete-a-thon team also work on staff for No Glitches Allowed, which is an event that features glitchless or no major glitches speedruns. This event typically takes place in the spring. Feel free to follow us here at twitch.tv/NoGlitchesAllowed and at NoGlitches on Twitter, as well as join our Discord for announcements so that you won't miss when our next events take place. While we get this set up, let's take a look through some of the other runs we have coming up. Up next, shortly, is going to be the King's Dungeon World 1 and 2 100% by Hepanwana. After that will be Jazzpunk Special Agent being run by Osborne, and that has an incentive at the end for doing the Flavor Nexus DLC that needs a little bit under $65 to still go to it to make that happen. After that, Nerd Squared will be running My Friendly Neighborhood CEO %. And that one, if we can get $125 toward the corresponding target for that, of which we still need 115 more, that will be played with chipmunk voices, which is going to be quite a time. But that's at the beginning of that run, so really you only have 2 more runs, the next one and the one after, to meet those incentives if you want to see those things happen.